Hey guys, welcome back. This is the Bitcoin market review for October the 5th, 2022 for Bitcoin. And again, before we get into the setups and the price section, we take a look at the economic calendar. And we can see yesterday we had two high impact news events, one at 8:15 and then another one at 10 a.m. And we also had the trade balance or balance of trade, which also had some impact. 8:30 that was. So 8:15 we see, actually it's not too big or not too visible here, but it had an impact on a lower time frame. I'm going to show that to you a little bit later. And here we have 8:30, that was balance of trade, also had some impact. And 9 o'clock, big candle, actually not due to a news event. The one we're looking at is 10 a.m. which then started to push lower once again. And they're not that visible on this time frame, but on the low time frame they are visible. So now let's get right into the setups. And I want to focus on this leg up, because here there were some entries, actually two nice entries here on the 5 minute. So we dropped down here, took the liquidity right here, and then we started an uptrend like so. After we broke this high, we had a market structure break. Price was an uptrend from this point on, and from this point on we are looking for longs, meaning we draw the fib from the low to the high, and then we see that here is a fair value gap right here, which price pushes back into, touches the fair value gap, but only the wicks, the bodies of the candles, don't go into it. The bodies of the candles also respect this down close candle, which is an order block. If I put my cursor to the bottom of these candles, or the bottom of these bodies, you can see it's a nice line, and they respect this down close candle, this order block. So this is the first entry to catch this up move, as we were down here. Now price is rebalancing this, and if it gets too high we expect it to break these highs. So that was the first entry. Then this move up down is kind of an entry, but it's not as beautiful. I mean, we also have a tiny fair value gap right here, which price pushes back into, also in a discount, and then shoots off, but it doesn't respect the order blocks as beautifully as this setup and as the next setup also does. Again, from the low to the high, we're still in uptrend. We have quite a big fair value gap right here. Let me draw that out a little bit further, so you can see the 0.5 level a little bit better. We see price pushes back down, fully fills the fair value gap, goes into a deep discount, respects this down close candle. We even can go, actually no, I think we can go on the low time frame, but I don't know if this gives us, I mean, on a lower time frame we see why it drops that far, because the fair value gap extends further down. So that's quite nice. But yeah, as I said, another nice setup. And at this point, price already broke this high. So we expect price to now go for this high, and eventually this high, to maybe reach up or to rebalance these imbalances, because on a high time frame this is probably one bigger imbalance. Go on the 15-minute. Yes, on the 15-minute this is one big imbalance. So if we draw out the fair value gap on the 15-minute, drop back down into our 5-minute chart, we can see price eventually shoots for that fair value gap up here. So these were nice entries to catch this up move right here. After this up move, price starts to reverse. Excuse me. Starts to reverse, and we actually can go on the 15-minute and look at it from the 15-minute perspective. As we can see, we went up into this fair value gap, broke down, then broke this low right here. Quite volatile, like quite a big candle, meaning we have displacement. We have a fair value gap which price reaches back into. That's not perfect. There we go. Actually, let me use this one. So we can see with a fair value gap which is in a premium, price first crash down, then moves back up into premium, into the fair value gap, but only wicks into it. As you can see, no candle close goes into the fair value gap or into the discount. Only the wicks do. It consolidates here for a bit, and then eventually it extends lower to fill this fair value gap right here, and then eventually it breaks down below this low, and the target for yesterday's down move was this fair value gap right here, which eventually it went into at 10:15. Went all the way into it, and then it reversed. But yeah, that was a nice entry to this down move, and this is not the only one. As we can see, after this entry right here, price moves quickly down once more, breaking this low and giving us another entry. From this high to this low, price moves back up into this fair value gap. Again, you can see the closes of the candles don't go into a premium, only the wicks do, only it wicks into a premium, and then it crashes down at 9 AM. So that's 2 consecutive entries. This setup is also, this is a perfect setup if you want to have confluence. Like it works on the 15-minute. Now we drop down to a 5-minute, and we add a little bit of confluence. As you can see, price pushes up and the candle closes respect these candle closes. So that up move right here is an order block on the 5-minute. I put my cursor to the lows of these candle bodies. You can see these candle bodies respect that beautifully. And the same is true, or the same holds for the 3-minute. Again, the closes of these, or the lows of these candle bodies are respected by these candle bodies, or by the highs of these candle bodies. So that's just confluence for a high, on lower time frames for a higher time frame setup. And yeah, with that, one could have caught that move down, because this move went down, filled this fair value gap, but didn't break this low. So the liquidity below here is still to be taken, and with this we could have caught that move. Nice setup on a 15-minute, and now we drop down into a 1-minute chart, and there we go. Yes. Actually, let me go back a couple of times, and yeah, let that draw out, because the 1-minute setup now is like, if you would not have entered immediately, you could have waited, and once it started to break down, this setup on the 1-minute forward. So here we have the 15-minute setup, and now here the 1-minute setup forms. Actually, let me do it like that. As you can see, there's another fair value gap here on the 1-minute in a premium. So price broke down, broke these lows right here, left behind the fair value gap. Price then starts to push back up into premium, touches the fair value gap, and then it really sells off. So you have the 15-minute setup which is also supported by the 5 and the 3 minute. And then you also have a 1 minute setup right here. So that's why this 15-minute setup, or this high time frame setup, or higher time frame setup, is just very nice, because we have the 15-minute setup, which is also visible on the 5 minute and the 3 minute, and then we have a 1 minute setup also right at the right after the high of this up close candle, right, or down close candle, like this high. After this high was formed, we had a 1 minute setup we just looked at. So beautiful setup, and yeah, that just shows you that sometimes you have to look on lower time frames to get a better understanding of what's going on. Okay, now let me see. Yeah, this is pretty much like the last setup prior to price really pushing down. So from this high to this low, couple of big candles leaving behind a value gap right here, and as you can see, price pushes back up into a premium, goes into the fair value gap, and then eventually it pushes down lower, taking out this low and going into this fair value gap right here. Okay, so these were the setups on the down move, and then we have two setups on the up move, or yeah, one setup on this up move and then a setup on this little retracement right here. So the setup on the up move is right in here. I mean, as you can see, price starts to reprice higher here, starts an uptrend, and then we can catch a portion of this move right here. Price pushes up, takes out this high, so the next high to be taken is this one. This will be our target. Price pushes up, breaks this high, and then comes back down into this fair value gap, nearly fully fills it, respects this down close candle. Again, if I put my cursor to the lows of these candle bodies, you can see that they respect this down close candle, and then price runs off, takes out this high, and even goes for these highs over here into this imbalance right here. Nice little up move, and I mean, as you can see, there's another setup right here. Boom, price pushes up, comes back down into a discount, going into the fair value gap, and then it moves up higher, eventually taking out these highs, so the morning highs. The high at 250, which we had on this up runner right here. So yeah, after doing that, price consolidates a bit. Like after lunch, it makes a high, moves down, takes out this high, as we often see the lunch high or after lunch high being taken. Then it starts a downtrend right here, moves through this low, and on this down move through this low, we have a setup on the 3 minute. As you can see, quite a big candle right here, leaving behind a fair value gap. And if you now pull out the fib tool from this high to this low, actually that's not too nicely drawn. Let me adjust that perfectly. So price moves down, moves back up into premium, into the fair value gap, respects this up close candle. As you can see, if again my cursor to the tops of these candle bodies, you can see they respect this up close candle right here, and then price starts to continue lower to eventually go into this imbalance right here. So that was all the good setups from yesterday's price action. I hope you enjoyed them. I hope you agree with my setups. If you do not, or you found anything else, please let me know in the comment section below. If you have any other suggestions, also write them down in the comment section below. And yeah, I hope I see you guys again. I hope you're safe. And yeah, bye.